gang, welcome to Mike on Monday. Quite a week, wasn't it? Let's have a look at it now. That way, let's go. On Monday, the club finally released its accounts for the first year at the London Stadium. Quite a read that was. Now, in the words of the great Leonard McCoy in the original Star Trek, he used to go, "Jim, I'm not a whatever it was, I'm a doctor." I would say, I am no accountant by any stretch. I'm a gobshite. That's what I do. But, let's put it like this. There were clearly record profits for the club. They haven't spent any money. They've just kept it. Now, they've got all sorts of excuses for that. But what really warms my heart, people, is watching rich people become richer. Because I love that. After years of Tory austerity, oh no, politics don't go there, I'm going to. The years of Tory austerity where the rich get filthy richer, it's great to see some rich people getting even wealthier. Warms my heart, makes me feel much better about myself. And before you all going, hey man, you're a lefty, what do you know about football? Have a look at this.
And the first question is for you, Karl Marx. The Hammers. The Hammers is the nickname of what English football team? The Hammers. No? Well, bad luck, Karl. It is, in fact, West Ham United. Now.
See what I mean? News also came out this week that West Ham had paid for the transport for people who had arranged to come over for the now cancelled match. So all those people who had flights or trains booked and they couldn't get the money back, the club were going to pay for that. That's great. They also arranged to give away some 1,500 tickets to those same people who were going to come for the march and are now going to come to the game instead. What could go wrong with that plan, eh? That's people who are only in London to demonstrate and you've given them a free ticket for the game. That sounds like fun. That's a bit like inviting all of your ex-girlfriends to your wife's birthday party. What could go wrong? Also last week, the West Ham Way scooped a rather excellent interview with David Gold, who'd gone and done this interview without informing the club. Now, I've always felt a bit sorry for David Gold, but if you want to watch what happened, I would have a look at the brilliant, and it is absolutely a must-watch if you've not already seen it, Nigel Khan's video about this, and it's just about how wrong his answers are. There is a link in the description below. Make sure you see it. It's a brilliant video, way better than this one's going to be, I'm telling you now. Really, really good video. I've always felt a bit sorry for Gold, as I said. I thought he might be the innocent one in this, but after watching that, I've decided that David Gold sure doesn't glitter. Have a look at it. It's really worth seeing. Match day rolled round on Saturday, and we all know, unless you live in a cave or Croydon, you all know what happened. At this point, match day rolled round, there were mass protests. David Sullivan's apparently struck by a coin, which he then picked up and placed in his pocket, because he's David Sullivan after all. And our trusty board hid behind the ever dignified Trevor Brooking for the whole thing before being escorted out of the ground before the end of the game. There was a game of football. It finished West Ham 0, Burnley 3. And to find out what actually happened in that game of football, let's visit Mike at the Tactics Centre. Mike. Thanks, Mike. Let's have a look at what happened this Saturday when West Ham hosted Burnley. West Ham fans deployed an unusual 54,406 formation. As you can see, they came in from the left and from the right here to demonstrate in front of the board of directors, who you can see there. It's up to you to decide which one is which. Here are the fans celebrating. Obviously, we've got some supporters on the pitch as well, interfering with play, holding play up, though no injury time was added. As for the actual football, let's have a look at the match stats. The Hammers scored very high in midfield uselessness. Expected swearing was also good. Looking dejected was average, while this week's Lanzini was very small. Finally, Arnautovic's hair was yellow. Mike. Thanks, Mike. Excellent as always. Love his work. For the first, this isn't the first time we've had the mass demonstrations at West Ham. 26 years ago, there were mass demonstrations against the then bond scheme, which is being used to pay for the stadium redevelopment after Hillsborough. I remember being on the pitch myself protesting that. And I noticed that somebody during the game picked up the corner flag and went towards the centre circle with it. And I think that is kind of in tribute, if you would, to the same season when some guy did the exact same thing in a game against Everton, I believe. I was at that as well, and planted the corner flag in the centre circle. And yeah, I think if you want to see what my real thoughts were on the game, have a good look at Gonzo's vlog. It's a really excellent vlog and really goes into detail. And I'm in it. I was sat next to Gonzo, so I'm in it loads. So I'm not going to repeat all about that, but do check out Gonzo's rather brilliant vlog. As I say, there is a link in the description again to have a look at that. Why, you have to ask, did these mass demonstrations happen? Well, apart from giving away tickets to people who come to London to demonstrate, as I said earlier, there are a whole heap of other reasons. And it's not one thing. I think it's a lot of things. It's not just because I noticed that nothing really started until Burnley scored. It's not just because of that. It's not just because of the stadium. It's a whole raft of things. But mostly it's because we were, and there is no other word for it now, I think it's now really obvious, we were lied to. I still think it could have been a good move to the London Stadium, but they've done it so badly, it's almost beyond repair now. We're an athletic stadium. We were promised a world-class team in a world-class stadium. Turned out they were talking about Burnley. Because, you know, I'm a bit lost for words on this, because ultimately, it's not just the fact we're fighting relegation again. We're used to that. I've watched West Ham get relegated, come up, get relegated, come up, all my life. As many of you know. I mean, it's just been like, that's just what happens to West Ham largely. It's the fact we were promised so much more, and that's the reason we left Upton Park. We could watch our struggle fight relegation at Upton Park still, without any real worries. Because, and also, let's face it, just the fact they've announced record profits as well, the fact that we spent less money in the 2 years at the London Stadium, net transfer spend's been less than it was for the 2 seasons previous to the move when we were still at the Bowling Ground. I think people have just had enough. And it's really worth wondering here, is the exact same thing going to happen at the next game? I genuinely think if you really, Mr. Gold, Sullivan and Mrs. Brady, whatever, if you really don't want us to get relegated, don't come to the home games. No, they won't protest if you're not there, so don't come. And the other thing that really needs to be sorted out is, I don't know if Ginge ever had maybe a job, part-time job when he was younger, as an usher, but you cannot have a situation where he and other players are removing protesters from the pitch because there isn't any security to do it. It's at times like this, though, I feel it's time to look beyond the Goldfish Bowl, which is West Ham United, and maybe examine what happened in a wider context. And to help us do that, we have our resident French philosopher, Monsieur Hammer. Monsieur Hammer, over to you.
C'est bon. First, I am Monsieur Hammer, a French West Ham supporter. And I must say, it is a great honor for you to have me on this show. So much anger in Britain. I go to the supermarché, Tesco, and the man becomes enraged because I have 11 items in my jacket. So the football. I'm reminded of the great Frenchman Serge Gainsbourg. He was a man, but is he male? Maintenant, as for West Ham, the football club, it is like fine cuisine. You take a great soup, but it only needs one dick in it, and the whole thing is ruined.
Monsieur Hammer there for you people. A man who only speaks in metaphors, so that's why it takes him so long to get served down the pub. Now we're going to have a look at your lovely messages and questions. Let's do it. Thank you once again, people, for all your questions. And I'm going to be honest, you were sent loads this week, actually loads. I'm just picked some of them, but there were loads and loads, and they were real corkers. So let's roll on with those. If you do want to ask a question, you do want to get an opinion on something, then you can either ask in the messages below, comments below, or you can tweet me at WHU Mike. I'm also on Facebook under my actual name, which is Mike Manera, M-A-N-E-R-A, for this Italian surname, which no one can spell. And but yeah, do get in touch if you want to ask a question. So let's move straight in because we've got a few of them to get through. Neil Parker, he's always good for a question. Hi Neil, thanks for this. What does the future hold if we go down? Do we go back to 30,000 loyal fans? New manager? Will the board spend big? Look, we are in real danger of going down. We've got a horrific run in. We really needed to beat Burnley, and the next game against Southampton is, well, the last game was a must-win. So I don't know what this makes the Southampton game. We still got to play City. We still got to play United. I mean, we've got to play Chelsea. We're away at Arsenal. We got heaps of horrific games to play, and I'm haunted by the idea that we'll get relegated in the last game of the season when we're at home to Everton, just to see that smug, I don't want to swear, Sam Allardyce gloating as we go down. So, really, what would happen? It's a good question, mate. I don't really know. We will definitely have a half-full stadium. I actually think even if we stay up, a lot of people aren't going to renew. A lot of people are really angry about the whole stadium thing. And people go, at the end of the day, to the football for entertainment, for enjoyment. They like to go and watch a game of football, etc. And most people have got a non-league side or some of the smaller club that's near them that they're fond of. I do at Berkhamsted here. And some people are just going to abandon West Ham and go and do that instead. I think they've just had enough of it. They've had enough of the greed. They've had enough of the broken promises. So I think we will have a half-full stadium. I think that Sullivan and Gold will be desperate for us to get back. Their requirement is for us to stay in the Premier League, and they don't really want us to push on. I think let's face it, they're going to sell the club. They will struggle to do that unless we're in the Premier League. So they will be desperate to get us back up. I think we need a new manager whether we stay up or we go down. There's another question about that, so I won't even go there. So yeah, I think they will spend quite big actually. I think they'll have to, because I don't think we've got a team that will get Snodgrass back, who's the best player in the Championship. So he'll have another season in the Championship, wouldn't he? And but I mean, apart from one or two, Arnautovic, Lanzini and a couple of others, we haven't really got a team I think they would compete particularly well. You need a lot of fighting grit in that league, and we haven't got that at all. So, hey, yeah, that's your answer for you, Neil. Hope that does you. David Trueluck, moving on, has said, do I think Moyes has done anything worth shouting about? No. And do I think we should keep him? When Moyes first came in, I was quite impressed, yeah. He sort of made us a lot more solid at the back, and we looked organised and fitter. Great. Problem is, that's it. He's played his trick, and now every team we're playing against knows how we're going to play. They know how we're going to set up. There isn't like a plan B or a C or even a change of tactics for certain games. So they know how to beat us. They know exactly what we're going to do. He had his little lift when he first came in. He's obviously got the players a bit fitter. He's obviously managed to do something when he first hit, but ultimately, look at our loss. We've just lost 4-1 away at Liverpool. Okay, Liverpool, and they're cracking this season. We lost 4-1 away at Swansea. We've lost 3-0 at home to Burnley. We are shipping goals left, right and centre. We've got players playing out of position, and we have one of the main reasons we're in deep trouble now is because we have the weakest midfield I've ever seen at West Ham. I mean, that is really poor. And we haven't got any other midfielders to bring in to stumble them. And I don't mean Nobes so much as Czech Kiata, and that's it. Who else have we got? Obiang's injured for the rest of the season, and he wasn't even having that great of a season. We got Antonio playing as a left wing back. I mean, I think Antonio's a really good player. And he actually did really well going forward on Saturday. He was roasting the fullback frequently, but he leaves a huge gap there. Why is Creswell a central defender suddenly? Anyway, no, I think even if we stay up, I think we need, I actually will get another manager. I don't think that, the problem is getting a manager who'll work with Sullivan and Gold, because they're frankly terrifying. Why would you come in? Why would you come to West Ham and have them go, well, we're going to tell you you're going to buy, we won't spend any money, you just train the team? No, I think it's a major problem, really. Trevor from England, why is Reece Oxford good enough for the Bundesliga and not for the Premier League? I haven't checked that yet. I don't know if he's actually playing, but he really wanted to go back there. He clearly enjoys playing in the Bundesliga and wants to play there. But then I wondered if he would like to be anywhere other than West Ham at the moment. It's a toxic club. It's a toxic club for the supporters, it's toxic for the players. It's a mess. So I think that's why he's gone. He wanted to go, and I don't blame him. Do you know what I mean? Phil Goodfellow. Who do I rate as West Ham's best manager? Well, Phil, for me it's got to be John Lyle. He's won 2 FA Cups, and he nearly in the 85-86 season got as close as we ever got and ever probably will get to winning the actual league. Where Batman was still the first division when we finished third, but we were in the running right until the last week of the season to actually win it. And that was a great team. His teams played really good attacking football, and he often had his best players sold out from underneath us. You can't sell Tony Cottee and replace him with David Kelly and expect to do well, can you? Mike Stringer, thanks, Mike. You've actually sent quite a few things to us, so I might return to them next week. Mike, keep Andy Carroll for another season, or get rid of if he's ever fit. Get rid. I have no time now for Carroll. To be honest with you, when he's fit, I don't think he's that good. He could have been good. I mean, it's interesting. I was watching the game against Burnley. If you watch Gonzo's vlog, which I do really recommend, again, the link's in the description below. And they brought Chris Wood on. I actually said to Gonzo, and it's on the film, that Chris Wood is such a good substitution for them. He is what Andy Carroll should have been. And he is. And what did he do? Scored twice, made one. Finally, Ryan B, whatever happened to Jordan Hugill? I'm beginning to think he's just a dream. I think we might have just dreamt we'd signed a striker who never plays from Preston North End. I don't know whose idea it was. There's all this stuff about, we spent 9 million on him. I think we spent about 2 million, and the rest is in add-ons, which we don't want to play by, we want to pay for by, actually playing him. I really don't know. When we played on Saturday, we didn't have a striker on the pitch till the last, 20 minutes when Hernandez came on. I really don't know. If he'll ever really play for us, I'll be surprised. I don't blame him for taking his opportunity to go and play in the Premier League, but really, anyway, there is not a game for about a year, 3 weeks, and but I'll be here next week anyway to talk to you about what the repercussions are for what happened on Saturday and anything else I can think of to fill the time. And up until then, guys, all I can say to you is thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please give it a thumbs up. Leave any comments you want to below. I've got to admit again, I've been really ill today, and I was yesterday as well, so sorry if I've been a bit with you. Like to thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to both channels. Really good stuff coming out on the main Hams Chat channel over the next couple of weeks, even though there's no games, which I'm in some of as well. God, what a media whore I am, eh? And but yeah, make sure you subscribe to both the main Hams Chat channel and this one. And thanks so much for worrying. Thanks so much for watching. One last time, come on, you Irons, please come on.
Special seed of his here, Вельзевул 3.
Вельзевул 3 слушает.
Слушайте, Вельзевул. Прием. Приказ Вельзевулу. Перехожу на прием. Говорите.
Я Вельзевул.
Да ну, кто вы такой?
Я знаменитый автор и исполнитель грешных напевов.
О, боже, как интересно. Спойте мне что-нибудь.
Что-нибудь из моих грешных напевов?
Да-да, что-нибудь грешное.
С удовольствием.